What's up, YouTube fam bam? Welcome to my channel. YouTube can be great. Me and my onesie. I'm a squirrel. We're here. We're present. We're ready. I'm finna go ahead and start on this review. This is the Married to Medicine season 7, I believe episode 11 review they just did last night, where Jackie then ran her mouth and ran her attitude, and we just saw her. A new girl came into town, and we just met her. And I'm gonna tell y'all what happened and why that happened. So the episode started where it left off last week. The girl, they got the rooms. Heavenly and Dr. Damon then won the dance contest because Dr. Damon did something even a circus animal would never dare to do. He got his big ass balanced on his actual head upside down, trying to, pose like a little break dancer. And they won the sweets that Simone and Cecil prepared for the winner of the dance contest. And Contessa and Dr. Scott felt like they were robbed because he put all his best moves out there in his age and they didn't win. Quad, Shady Simone, decided to get Quad back for her shadiness at her party and not recognizing them as real friends by putting her somewhere off in Timbuktu with her freaking room. And her whatever room they put her in, it's like she got a trek. She had to go through climb the tallest tower, go through go through a dragon, fight the prince, get through the king, get up there, and when she finally reaches there, all she can see is the ocean, but there's not really any contact with everybody else that she came to the freaking island with, or she came to the freaking vacation with. She's just there by herself, and Simone says something shady as fuck. I put Quad in a room by herself away from the couples because I want her to spend time with the most important person in her life, herself. And they flash back to Quad, and she over there looking at herself in the mirror. I'm like, they are shady as hell with that one. But they were right. She does care about herself, and sometimes she can be full of herself. Anyway, the next thing they have is them coming out to dinner. Mariah and Aiden were not present because Aiden expressed the night before or the day before that Mariah is cramping. She doesn't feel well. She can't come. She's not going to be making it to the dinner. And Toya made a comment saying that Mariah don't usually have fun at these dinners because normally she's the target of an argument. Last season, I think her and Heavenly, Dr. Damon almost, fought Dr. Aiden. She broke a glass trying to stab Heavenly with it. The previous dinner they had, she said this wasn't a fucking family because they had just booted her out when they had the whole Quad and her fell out. It was just a mess. So she didn't want to be a part of this one, and so she skipped out and had her own 5-course meal elsewhere. In the middle of this dinner, it is the whole vacation or the whole trip is to commemorate Cecil and Simone's 23rd marriage anniversary, considering the fact that they almost divorced like a couple seasons ago. They were there. They were at that point. So Jackie and her husband, I can't think of his name right now. Damn, I can't think of Jackie's husband's name right now. I don't know why it's not coming to my brain, but they decided to go ahead and give Cecil and Simone their heartfelt congratulations for making it this far. We wish you guys the best. And they also asked their kids to give them something, and the kids were so cute and said, thank you for putting up with us because we ain't easy to be dealing with, and we're so happy that you guys got through the hardest time in your relationship because they were old enough to realize that their parents' marriage was going through it. So we move on. Middle of this dinner, I forgot the question that was asked to Buffy about how she felt, but Contessa mentioned something about Heavenly and how Heavenly does a lot of kind of like a hazing type situation to every new person that comes to the group to see if they can hang, and how Heavenly did that with Buffy. And Buffy said that Heavenly's a little light. She doesn't take anything that Heavenly says that seriously. It's almost like a sister type situation. And she now takes that moment to say that what she did not like is Jackie's loose mouth last episode in her book launch party, where she let people know during her Queen V launch, when she's empowering women, that in her experience and infertility and how as a woman she felt like she was incapable of doing what all women are supposed to do, which is give birth and have a child, that she feels like she was unsuccessful in that regard. And she blurted out to everybody that Buffy was infertile, in the sense that, Buffy, you can relate because this is the same thing that we're both going through. Here's the issue that I have with that. Now, I do not agree with how Jackie behaved and how she hurled her private information out to a room full of people that were strangers to Buffy, because I know damn well Buffy didn't know probably about 80% of people in that damn room. And to go and share something like that, it's almost like going and telling people that this girl had an abortion, or this girl had a miscarriage, or this girl had a death in the family. You just don't put somebody's business out there like that so boldly. But I will say this. Jackie and Buffy had yet to have a fallout. They had not had a single argument. The last time I checked, Buffy and Toya were the only two to have gotten to it since the season started. And so and Buffy had already had a conversation with Jackie privately regarding her struggles with infertility and wanting to have a family of her own and struggling. Now her husband is at the point with her and Jackie being on the same boat. Both husbands don't want to have kids. Buffy's husband is like, I could wait, I don't really care for it. And Jackie's husband said no. I keep forgetting his name. It's not Dr. Damon, it's not Cecil, it's not Aiden, it's not Dr. Scott. Damn, I just can't remember his name. This big ass man, I can't remember his name. Anyway, maybe I'll remember it later. It's not Eugene, maybe I'll remember it later, but they said, you know, the bonding that they both had together was with regard to the fact they both want a family and couldn't have it, and both their husbands aren't really aren't really given the support they need to even search other methods outside of surrogacy, which Buffy says she spent like $80,000 on and it was unsuccessful. What about adoption? What about foster care? Both parties aren't willing to even explore that, and because they're getting older, they don't even want to try. So it seems like that is the bond that brought Jackie and Buffy together in that sense. However, Buffy said it in front of this dinner, and it kind of came at a bad time because she had just poured her heart out and said thank you to Cecil and Simone. This is their 23rd year anniversary. This is their dinner. They're supposed to be about them. She congratulated them and poured her heart out to them, and everything was going so sweet. The kids talked, and she felt like that was the appropriate time for her to address something that was bothering her. But prior to the episode, when the episode first started, they were on a bus coming in, and she also made a crack comment about, you know, oh, they said they would do like I don't know, they said that they would have a contest or something about, I forgot what the contest was about, but whoever has kids is in it. And then Jackie was like, damn, that puts me out of it. That puts us out of it. And then you hear Buffy in the back saying, well, I'm out of it too, clearly. But there's just little jabs that she was saying, and instead of directly approaching the situation. Now I understand where Jackie's coming from with regard to Jackie. I don't feel in my heart that Jackie meant to hurt that woman. I really don't. I really felt like that's the conversation that her and Buffy had. It wasn't that Buffy was her patient or Buffy was somebody that she was seeing, because Buffy actually went to Simone to do her exam and testing when she thought she had a lump. I feel like Jackie really felt like this woman can understand how badly she wants a child and how her husband wasn't really wanting to try something different. But with all that said, it was not appropriate nor correct for a person as intelligent as Jackie is to open her mouth in a room full of a bunch of people that I don't fucking know and tell people what's going on with my uterus and my ovaries and my vagina and whatever hell is going on in my body. It is not your place to go and announce that. You can talk about your truth. You can talk about what you feel. You can talk about how your heart feels, the pain that you go through. And instead of saying, Buffy, you can relate, you can say, there are some women in this room who I'm familiar with that may be able to relate to the same struggles that I am going through. You did not have to single her out like Heavenly did in that table, when later on when they're talking about marital problems, she put Contessa out on blast and said, oh, I didn't ask permission. It's that type of recklessness that Heavenly does that Jackie just portrayed out herself. And because Buffy put her on blast in that moment when she just delivered this heartfelt speech to her friend, she was embarrassed. I could hear Jackie's voice cracking. However, I think that when somebody is hurt by something that you have done to them, and it's not something petty, because this situation is not something petty, Buffy has every right to feel the way that she feels. She felt very embarrassed in that crowd of people, and we saw that there were people in that crowd that were discussing it, and she was about to cry because she felt some type of way, and Quad observed her about to cry. She was genuinely in her feelings because she was like, oh my God, did somebody just put my business out there like that? She deserves to feel the way that she feels in this moment regarding this particular situation. And so you cannot now say Jackie, and Simone can't say, you got to understand how Jackie feels. Jackie was not the one who felt the pain. And maybe Jackie is embarrassed because of how Buffy put it out there. But now it may have been strategic on Buffy's part, because now Jackie, who has been held into this high standard, can now experience the same embarrassment, just a touch of it, a tinge of an embarrassment that she herself felt when she put her business out there, because Jackie was embarrassed at that table and her voice was cracking, and I thought she was going to cry. That's why she said, done with it. Let's have dinner, and let that be the last thing that you say to me ever. Like, bitch, I don't want to deal with you because you just embarrassed me too. That is not appropriate, Jackie. And I was very, like Dr. Cecil said, I was extremely, extremely disappointed in the fact that Jackie could not humble herself in this particular instance and just say, you know what? Listen, I'm so sorry that you felt that way. I just wanted to, I was expressing myself and the struggles that I felt. And you and I had that conversation in the past. And I felt like that's what bonded you and I together, because it's the experience that you and I share. So when I was making my speech, I wasn't thinking that I was doing anything to hurt you. I really wasn't thinking at all. I just wanted to have that kind of, this is something that multiple women outside of myself deal with. And this is the pain that we both share. If I embarrassed you, that was not my intention. I sincerely apologize to you. That was not something I intended to do. I'm gonna keep apologizing to you till you understand how hard, I didn't mean it. And I don't want you to feel hurt because I didn't mean it. I'll keep apologizing until you feel, do everything you need to do to show remorse. You can't have that much pride in your system that you cannot put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Yes, Buffy expressed it to you. And yes, Buffy went on the confession and told the entire people who watched Bravo, Married to Medicine by Andy Cohen and during the reunion and stuff like that. She put her business out there. We all know, hell, I know I'm talking about it. But it is her story to tell. It is not your story to tell. And if you are gonna talk about people that you know that are sharing in the same experiences, do not refer to them by name, because you don't want people to now know, oh, that's the girl at Jackie's party that I heard was infertile. Number one, you don't know the details as to what happened when she was having a baby. Or what happened. She herself said that she was able to get pregnant. She just couldn't hold the baby. So Jackie in this situation was wrong. She was fucked up in the way that she handled it. And I was so proud of Toya for opening her mouth and try to say it's not like that. You need to understand where she's coming from. And I want to know why Dr. Simone and Dr. Heavenly felt like it was their place to try and check Buffy in the moment where she was the one that technically was the victim, because they wanted to protect their friend Jackie. Yes, you have to protect your friend no matter what, but you also got to open your mouth and tell your friend when they are wrong. And yes, I know Jackie was embarrassed. She was put on blast, but sometimes you got to be knocked down a peg to know where you're at and know that you're still human like everybody else, and you can make mistakes just like everybody else. Now, after this scene was over, Evelyn heavily decided to run her mouth because she wanted to talk about how Jackie has never been mad, how we all saw her mad, and Eugene and Toy in the confessional talking about, damn, this Jackie's husband didn't say nothing. I guess he's used to seeing this side of her. We just seen it for the first time because he didn't even flinch. I'm like, yeah, he probably see this side of her. There's another side of that girl that people don't know because she's going out of her way. She's working extra hard to make sure that when she is on camera, she does not act like the typical black people behavior that we're used to seeing on reality TV shows. She wants to carry herself in the manner that a doctor would, but even a doctor makes mistakes. And you got to be able to own that when you do. And Jackie did not. And I was very pissed off that she did this. Now, Jackie's stance in her defense is that she feels like because she has been humbling herself in the past and apologizing to people like Mariah in the little petty stuff that Mariah was talking about. That was petty as shit to me. This is not as serious as the situation with Buffy, but she felt like because she's now apologizing, people are taking her kindness for weakness. Bitch, bye. Anybody taking your kindness for weakness? You have only apologized to one person out of the 6 people in this group. There are 6 people: Simone, Heavenly, Toya, Quad, Contessa, and Buffy. Those are 6 people, and you only apologized to one of them. One, Mariah. And yes, you had to apologize to Mariah multiple times because Mariah wanted to make sure that you felt the same frustration that she felt when you did not forgive her, when she basically said that your ass wanted a mother. You couldn't fathom how she was feeling because all you had was your husband's daughter from another relationships, and you couldn't know what it's like to even love somebody like a daughter or a child. So Jackie felt some type of way. It was a sore spot for her because she wants a kid, and she's wanted a kid since probably she was a kid, and it's something that she's gonna have to deal with. That's the pain she's gonna have to suffer for the rest of her life. And for Mariah to say something like that to her, she took it very personally into heart. And for some time, she wasn't having it from Mariah. She wasn't fucking with Mariah. She didn't want to even deal with Mariah. She didn't want Mariah to even exist in her world. So Mariah felt that distance from her, and so Mariah felt it for a number of seasons. Now that she's caught Jackie with her slip showing, running her mouth and talking about how Quad spoke about her doing drugs and just in her and Quad's business, she wanted to make sure she held Jackie to the same frustrating metric that Jackie held her to for seasons. She made sure that she wanted her to apologize over and over and over again to make sure that she felt the same way that she made Mariah feel. That is a completely different scenario than you going and telling somebody that you didn't even have an issue with. It's not like you and Buffy were fighting. You literally went out there and put her business out there, and y'all wouldn't have had any issues, and it was not your business to tell. Now, after this happened, Dr. Simone's husband Cecil did also let Simone know that she should have handled that situation better. Buffy's husband was inadvertently, when Simone asked him, how do you, as a therapist, what is your stance on conflict resolution? And he said, you have to first understand where the other person is coming from. And I know he said it because he's defending his wife. He may be white as hell, but he knows how to defend that woman, and he sure did. After this thing happened, the next day, they all decide to go on a bus ride with Cecil and Dr. Simone to continue the itinerary of what they planned. And the bus breaks down. Now, I know that there are in Mexico, I think it's in Mexico, I forgot. I think they're in Mexico. And Mexico's, to me, it's a third world, it's third world as well. I mean, pesos aren't worth shit. So the bus breaks down, which probably means that bus was old as a motherfucker. I don't know. But the bus breaks down, and they're going to have to walk. Toya annoyed the fuck out of me in the way that she behaved because she was embarrassed. She was too embarrassed to walk on the freeway. Girl, shit happens. And the bus broke down through no fault of Simone. She planned it the best she could. And it seems like Toya whines, even when she's with her husband all the time, she whines and complains about everything when it doesn't go her way. Shut your ass up and stop complaining. We don't do this in Atlanta. Girl, ain't nobody in Atlanta here. They're not here to see your ass. Yeah, we're going to see you on TV. Get over it. The bus broke down. I didn't have moments with my car, ran out of gas in the middle of the freeway, and I had to get out of my car because I didn't have AAA and walk a quarter to half a mile to the gas station, go get gas, carry that red tank back to my car, sit up there trying to pump gas with my cute self in the middle of the road, looking like I'm a stray dog, trying to get my car together. And you're over here sitting here complaining because you had to walk just a few little miles to get a few little feet to get back to the place because the bus broke down through no fault of anybody. Get over it. AAA is not in freaking Mexico like that. So you need to stop acting the way you did. I didn't like that she acted that way. This is why I say she's bougetto, because she acting like she's too good to walk. You can walk, girl. You can walk, and you weren't doing that walk by yourself either, so stop complaining. There were other people out there walking with you. They were tolerating it just like you. The only person I felt bad for was Buffy's husband because he's white as a motherfucker. I was worried that he might get skin issues because you know damn well it was hot as hell, and as white as he is, he glows in the dark. Why on earth is he walking in the sun like that? And Buffy said, baby, they know you don't have that much melanin in your system. Why the hell they have you out here in the sun? And that's the only person I felt bad for because he doesn't have that much melanin in his skin, and he's the only one that's in real danger in this heat. So Toya, shut your ass up in this one. Now, after that, they went to a bar area. They're drinking, they're chilling. Daddy's out here drinking, getting shots, chilling. You got Heavenly in the corner complaining because she said that Daddy cannot hold his drink. I'm thinking to myself, Heavenly, let that man have fun. He's on vacation. He's a hardworking doctor. You're a hardworking dentist. Let him drink some shots. If he ends up throwing up, you need to just pull his hair back and hold his shirt. Make sure he don't get none of that on his shoes. Be a good wife and let this man enjoy himself, because she, controlling as she is, sent Jackie over there to get him to stop. And Dr. Damon sent Jackie back saying, tell Buddy that I listen to everything that she says all the time. She needs to let me enjoy my day. And Jackie relayed that message, and Jackie said, can't you let him enjoy this one time? Heavenly's ass said, no. I'm like, girl, Heavenly, shut up. Just shut up. Heavenly and Damon, I love their marriage. I love that Dr. Damon knows how to handle her because she's too much. Team too much. And he knows how to handle her to where she knows her, she gets it together. But Aiden and Mariah were able to join this session. They didn't abandon them this time. Mariah is feeling so much better now that this dinner is over now. Then they go out to go have another dinner or another meal. And they're just they're playing this game where they're asking questions about, is it okay for if your spouse cheats, is it a wash? And they bring up Jackie and her husband. And Jackie's like, he needs to be happy that I stayed with him in this marriage, and he needs to be happy too, because I don't know if I could do it. Damon is not going to say in front of Heavenly that if Heavenly cheats, he may be able to forgive her. You don't say that shit in front of your spouse. You don't do that. If somebody asks me, if your man cheats on you, would you stay with me? But the first thing out of my mouth is, if my man is there, is hell no. He needs to know that I will walk from this relationship if he cheats. You don't want to give somebody the impression that, oh, you might consider staying with him if it happens, or oh, maybe. There's no maybe, because you need to burn it in your brain, into your soul, that if you do this act, you have forever ended whatever relationship we have. This will not be fixed. I am done. Good answer, Damon. Then the next question they talked about was they brought up the whole contestant situation because they know Contessa and Dr. Scott are having issues. And they brought up the fact that is it okay for your spouse to change careers, go away to school, make a drastic decision without your permission? And Heavenly said, no, you don't need your permission for anything, but you do need to consult your partner because you guys are one. I agree. Mariah also made a point saying that you need to be mindful because the decision you are making, it affects your entire family. So you can't just make it recklessly. I agree as well. With the situation with Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott, Dr. Scott was okay with Contessa initially going off to school. He did not consider the fact that he will have to be a single parent for 1 year for their kids, for her to accomplish her goals. And he didn't fathom that. And when he was put in that situation, he got so stressed out that he bullied his wife into dropping out of school. And now she's going to resent him because she feels like there's a part of her life that she's not able to YOLO live. And Dr. Scott, being stubborn and being prideful, is not willing to admit to her that he went too far and that he's sorry, and that this time, if she does go back to school, he's going to be supportive of her. Or maybe compromise and say, you know what, baby, go to school in town because I need you to be here. I am not strong enough as a man to be able to handle all of my children by myself without you because it's not something that I signed up for. And so far as you're alive and breathing, I want you present. Instead of him saying that, he has this roundabout way of kind of vindictively reacting, manipulating the situation and coercing her to do something based on her guilt. And he's still not acknowledging the fact that this woman feels unappreciated. She feels like her opinions don't matter. She feels like what she wants out of life is not being considered. And she lets us know that Dr. Scott has changed careers multiple times in the past, and she has been the supportive wife and been there for him. Heavenly said, you know, your husband is supposed to support you, and she's still running her mouth as usual. And Contessa said, no, your husband supports you. Here's the problem with what Contessa did. Contessa saying, no, your husband supports you, is almost like she's throwing a jab at Dr. Scott, saying that Dr. Scott don't support her. In this particular situation, he did not support her because he kind of bullied her into coming back home. However, Dr. Contessa, you still have to understand, y'all are in front of people, in front of cameras. That man is still a man. He's still him. He don't want to be embarrassed. And while you're talking about in the confessionals, he felt embarrassed, and the way that he handled the situation was inappropriate. I feel like Dr. Scott needs to swallow his pride, get up, pull up his big boy pants, and listen to what his wife is trying to say to him. And Dr. Contessa should understand something too. The man you married is telling you that he is not equipped to be the type of man you want him to be. And he's not going to change. He doesn't seem like he's going to change. And you yourself said that you've been tolerating this for a number of years. You knew this when you first ended up with him because you saw the signs. Are you willing to modify yourself to accommodate a potential character flaw that he is incapable of changing? At a certain point, at a certain age, people don't change. That's my understanding. When you get to a certain age, for some people, they are incapable of progression. They are incapable of change. And when it comes to a relationship, my parents always taught me that you're going to get 60-40. You're going to get 60%, maybe 70% if you're lucky of what you want, and the other 30% that you feel like at times you can't stand. You have to look at that 30% or 40% and decide for yourself, is it something that I feel like I can tolerate comfortably without getting so agitated once the honeymoon phase is over later on down the line? Now, if you're watching all these things and you decide for yourself, no, I don't think I can be with this person. This is not something I feel like I can deal with. It's not something I feel like I can handle. It's not something I feel like I can ever get over or not get with. It's going to annoy me. It may be not right now when we're having fun and we just met and we're happy, but maybe down the line, I'm going to be pissed off at this man. If it's not something that you can handle or you see down the line, you have to be able to have wisdom to see that this is a behavior he's not going to change. Dr. Scott, so far, I've seen Contessa pouring her heart out. I've seen Contessa crying. He's like, let her go. I've seen Contessa, really trying to get at the fact that what you did hurt me and how you handled the situation. This is not something I want to let go. Any person would say, you know what? Go for it. I'll stomach it. If I get grumpy, so be it. But he's really pushing back, which means that he's used to this type of behavior because you've dealt with it for a long time. So I don't see him changing. And it seems like the next episode that they show after this one ends, they're still fighting. They're still not face to face. They're still not seeing eye to eye. It seems like every season there's a relationship that goes through it. And it seems like this season, Contessa and Dr. Scott's relationship is the one going through it. So I'm seeing pictures online with them still together, so I don't think that they're gonna break up or anything, but I think that they both need to hear each other because they're not hearing each other. Contessa's not hearing that this man has some flaws about himself that he may or may not be able to change, and she may have to modify some of herself to not look at it and be resentful, to just look at it as this is who he is. At the same time, he needs to be able to appreciate when his wife wants to go out there and make make things better for the both of them and be supportive, because as you say, your ass went and go did it. Why can't she? It shouldn't be a double, it shouldn't be like a double standard where you can do this and she can't. It shouldn't be that way. You should be able to push her as much as she lets, and support her. If we can tolerate a lot of shit, man, you need to be able to tolerate the same damn thing too. I push out these kids for you. I done carried these kids for you. I done breastfed these kids for you. You can tolerate to be a single parent for at least a year for me to get this shit done and come home. Don't complain. Anyway, please like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this Jackie and Buffy situation and Dr. Contessa. What y'all think they should do about it? As far as Jackie and Buffy, I do feel like when Jackie sees this, because she has to go back and watch it, there's going to be a reunion. She may see that Buffy was in tears at her event, and this is something that affected her, and I hope in that moment she could show more compassion than she showed in this entire episode, because she pissed me the fuck off, and I'm trying so hard not to cuss her ass out, because I know that she does not... She's showing her slip, but she's not out there tossing herself over the cliff yet. When she does, I'm going to go in on her. But right now, I need to get that shit together because it is irritating me how she handled Buffy. It just wasn't right. It wasn't fair. Anyway, thank you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to watch Love and Hip Hop. If it's good, I'm going to do a review on it. If it's kind of lackluster, I'm not going to waste my time. Love y'all. Bye.